The summary of Chapter 16, Motivating Employees. So what is motivations? Motivations is the process by which a person's efforts are energized, directed, and sustained toward attaining a goal. It has three key elements. First one, energy, a measure of intensity, drive, and vigor. Second, direction. Efforts is channeled in a direction that benefits the organizations. Finally, is persistence. We want employees to persist in putting forth efforts. Next part is early theories of motivations. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. Maslow's theory that human needs physiological safety, social esteem, and self-actualization form a sort of hierarchy. Physiological needs, a person's needs for food, drink, shelter, sexual satisfaction, and other physical needs. Secondly, safety needs, a person's needs for security and protection from physical and emotional harm. Third, social needs, a person's need for affection, belongingness, acceptance, and friendship. Fourth, external needs, a person's need for internal factors, for example, self-respect and achievement, and external factors such as status, recognition, and attention. Finally, is self-actualization needs, a person's need to become what he or she is capable of becoming. Literature Theory X and Theory Y. Theory X, the assumption that employees dislike work, are lazy, avoid responsibility, and must be careless to perform. Theory Y, the assumptions that employees are creative, enjoy work, take responsibility, and can exercise self-directions. Herbert's two-factor theories. Two-factor theories include motivations and hygiene theories. This is the motivation theory that claims that intrinsic factors are related to job satisfactions and motivations, whereas extrinsic factors are associated with job dissatisfactions. Motivators are factors that increase job satisfactions and motivations include achievement, recognitions, work itself, responsibility, advancement, growth, and hygiene factors. Factors that eliminate job dissatisfactions but don't motivate include supervisions, company policies, relationship with supervisors, working conditions, salaries, relationship with personal life, relationship with subordinate, status, and security. And theories. Three-needs theories is the motivation theory that cites three acquired needs include achievement, power, and obligations as measures motive in work. Need for achievement, the drive to success and excel in relation to set of standards. The need for power, the need to make others behave in the way that they would not have behaved otherwise. The need for obligations, the desire of friendly and close interpersonal relationships. Next part is contemporary theories of motivations include goal setting theory, the propositions that specific goals improve performance and that difficult goals, when accepted, result in higher performance than do easy goals. Self-efficiency, an individual's belief that he or she is capable of performing a task. Reinforcement theory is the theory that behavior is a function of its consequence. reinforces consequences immediately following a behavior, which increase the probability that the behavior will repeat it. Designing motivating jobs. Job decides the way tasks are compiled to form complete jobs. Job scope, the number of different tasks required in a job, and the frequency with which those tasks are repeated. Job enlargement, the horizontal expansions of a job that occurs as a result of increasing job scope. Job enrichment, the vertical expansion of job that occurs as a result of additional planning and evaluations of responsibilities. Job depth, the degrees of controls employees have over their work. Job characteristic model, a framework for analyzing and designing jobs that identifies five primary core job dimensions, their interrelationships, and their impact on outcome. Five core job dimensions: skill variety, the degree to which a job requires a variety of activities so that the employees can use a number of different skills and talents. Task identity, the degree to which a job requires completion of a whole and identifiable piece of work. Task significance, the degree to which a job has substantial impact on the life or work of other people. Autonomy, the degree to which a job provides substantial freedom, independence, and discretion to the individuals, and scheduling the job, and determining a producers to be used in carrying it out. Feedback, the degree to which doing work activity required by a job results in an individual obtaining direct and clear information about effectiveness of his or her performance. Redesigning job design approaches, relational perspective of work design, an approach to job design that focuses on how people, tasks, and jobs are increasingly based on social relationships. Proactive perspective of work design, an approach to work design in which employees take the initiative to change how their work is performed. High involvement work practice. Work practice designed to greater input or involvement from worker. Equity theories, the theory that employee compares his or her job's input outcome ratio with that of relevant others and then corrects any inequities. Reference, the person's systems as of against which individuals compare themselves to assess equities. Distributive justice, perceive fairness of the amount of allocation of rewards among individuals. Expectancies theories, the theory that an individual tends to act in a certain ways based on the expectations that the act will be followed um, by a given outcome and on the attractiveness of that outcome to the individuals. Expectancies relationships, expectancies efforts, performance linkage, the perceived probability that an individual's efforts will result in a certain level of performance. Intrusive development. The perceptions that a particular levels of performance will result in attaining a desired outcome, reward, balance, the attractiveness, importance of the performance reward outcome to the individuals, iterating contemporary theories of motivations, current issues in motivations, motivating interest, economic circumstance, the economic recession of the last few years were difficult for many organizations. Layoff, ties purchase, minimal or no pay raises, benefits cuts, no bonus, long hours doing the work of those who had been laid off were the reality that maybe employee faced. Managing cross-cultural motivational challenges. Most current motivation theories were developed in the United States by Americans and about Americans. Managers cannot automatically assume motivational programs that work in one geographic location are going to work in others. Motivating unique group of workers, compressed work week, longer daily hours but fewer days, flexible work hours, flex time, specific weekly hour with varying arrival, departures, lunch and break times around certain course hours, during which all employees must be present. Job sharing, two or more people flex a full-time job. Telecommuting, employees work from home using computer link. Motivating professional characteristic of professionals, strong and long-term commitment to their field of expertise. Loyalty is to their professions, not to the employers. Have the need to regularly update their knowledge. Don't divide their work week as 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Equity in compensations and benefits. Motivating low skill minimums employees. Employees recognition programs, provisions of since raise, designing appropriate reward programs, open book management, a motivational approach in which an organization's financial statement, the books are shared with all employees. Employees recognition program.
Hi, I'm Ngọc and I will move on case 1. Passion for the outdoor and for the people. So question 1. The office space more feel like the national park than the main office. The company coffee shop, the organic food and drink. This is the childcare room for employee children. And the company encourages the separate to boost up the employee morale. So in my opinion, this work environment include 3 stages, so physiological need, safety need, and esteem need. So it's very passionate for the health of the environment. Question 2. So the motivation is influenced by the workplace issue, being able to handle crime in the turn economy. I think the biggest challenge in keeping the employee motivated would be keeping the passion for the outdoor and environment. So For the class question 4, by setting the common goal, how much money they will save for one day, establish a friendly competition on who can make the most sale in a month, offer cash incentive to motivate the employee as well as employee reward and or bonus. So move on K2, best practice at the Best Buy. So for the question 1, the element of ROW is which is the resort only work environment. The employee are rewarded for the outcome, not activity. So leader get to focus on the thing that truly drive the business result. So advantage is increasing the productivity, reduce the voluntary employee turnover, increasing the level of engagement for our people. Disagreement is achieving loss of control of the employee and training time and the difficult monitoring. For question 2, the theory why is giving the employee more discretion in what they do in their job and making work more challenging. The goal setting by the allowing employees to participate more in the goal setting process as far as the condition of work, then employees are more likely to accept and accomplish their goal. Question 3. By allowing the employee more flexibility in when or where they work, it makes manager job more difficult. Without the evolution and the control, it is difficult to assign the compensation and other preferred for behavior. Most of these problems can be solved with the appreciation, communicate, and performance system. Yes, I would be comfortable with this because through the practice it makes work more easily than ever. We can work and learn with each other, employee regardless of rank. This means the company may achieve excellent results because they can share our opinion. And the last question. Many employees see their contribution to their employer based on the amount of the time they put in, not amount of the effort. Just being at work doesn't help the organization accomplish their goal.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to present to you chapter 17, and the first part of it is who are leaders and what is leadership. Leaders are someone who can influence others and who have the managerial authority. Leadership is what leaders do, and which is the process of influencing a group to achieve a goals. Ideally, all managers should be leaders. In the next slides, we will present to you the early leadership theories, and one of which would be the trait theories popular in the 1920s and the 1930s, in which the research focused on identifying the personal characteristics that differentiated the leaders from the non-leaders were unsuccessful. It proved impossible to identify a set of traits that would always differentiate the leader, the person, from a non-leader. There are 8 traits associated with leadership, including drive, desire to lead, honesty, and integrity. Self-confidence, intelligence, job-relevant knowledge, extroversion, and proneness to good. Besides, we have the behavioral theories, which is the leadership theories that identify behaviors that differentiated the effective leader from non-ineffective leaders. In the next slide, we will present to you some studies of many universities around the world, and one of these is the University of Iowa. This university identified three leadership styles, including autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. The autocratic style is a leader in which the leader who dictates work methods, makes unilateral decisions, and limits the employee participation. In the democratic style, a leader who involves employees in decision making, delegates authority, and uses feedback as an opportunity for coaching employees. And in the last style, a leader who lets the group make decisions and complete the work in whatever way it sees fit. In the Ohio State study, it identified two dimensions of leader behaviors. Initiating structure, there is the role of leader in defining his or her role and the roles of group member. Consideration, the leader's mutual trust and respect of the group members' ideas and feelings. And the result of these studies is the high consideration or high structural leaders generally, but not always, achieved high scores on group task performance and satisfaction. Evidence indicated that situational factors appeared strongly influence leadership effectiveness. In the Michigan studies, they identified two dimensions of leader behavior: employee-oriented, emphasizing the personal relationships, and the production-oriented, emphasizing the task accomplishment. In the research findings, they found that leaders who are employees-oriented are strongly associated with high group productivity and job satisfaction. And the next part is the managerial grid, which is a two-dimensional grid for appraising leadership style. It places managerial style in 5 categories: impoverished management, task management, middle of the road management, country club management, the team management. And the beside picture is the behavioral theories of leadership summary. Part 2, Contingency Theories of Leadership. The Fuller contingency model is a leadership theory proposing that effective group performance depends on the proper match between a leader's style and the degree to which the situation allows the leader to control and influence. And here is some definitions. The least preferred coworker questionnaire is a questionnaire that measures whether a leader is task or relationship oriented. The leader-member relations is a degree to which of confidence, trust, and respect employees had for their leader, rated as either good or poor. Task structure, which is the degree to which job assignments were formalized and structures rated as either high or low. In the position power, we have the degree of influence a leader had over activities such as hiring, firing, discipline, promotions, salary increases, rated as either strong or weak. In the Halsey and Blanchard's situational leadership theory, we have, which is a leadership contingency theory that focuses on the follower's readiness. Readiness is the extent to which followers have the ability and willingness to accomplish a specific task. The SLT leadership styles: telling, including telling, selling, participating, and delegating. There are 4 stages of followers' readiness. In the phase 1, people are both unable and willing to take responsibility for doing something. The followers are not competent or confident. In the phase 2, people are unable but willing to do necessary job tasks. Followers are motivated but lack the appropriate skills. In the third step, people are able but unwilling to do what leader wants, and followers are competent but don't want to do something. And in the last stage, people are both able and willing to do what is asked of them. The best goal models. The best goal theories is a leadership theory that says the leader's job is to assist the followers in attaining their goals and to provide the direction or support needed to ensure that their goals are compatible with the goals of the group or the organization. There are four leadership behaviors: directive leaders, supportive leaders, participative leaders, and achievement-oriented leaders. Part 3. Contemporary views of leadership. Leader members exchange theories is the leadership theory that says leaders create in-group and out-groups, and those in the in-group will have higher performance ratings, less turnover, and greater job satisfaction. Transactional leaders are leaders who lead primarily by using social exchanges or transactions. The transformational leaders are leaders who stimulate and inspire followers to achieve the extraordinary outcomes. The charismatic leaders is an enthusiastic, self-confident leaders whose personality and actions influence other people and to behave in certain ways. The visionary leadership is the ability to create and articulate a realistic, credible, and attractive vision of the future that improves upon the present situation. The team leadership in which many leaders are not equipped to handle the change to employee teams. A team leader's job is to focus on two priorities: managing the team's external boundary, facilitating the team process. Part 4. Leadership issues in the 21st century. We have encountered many difficulties in managing power. The legitimate power is the power a leader has as a result of his or her position. The coercive power is the power a leader has to punish or control. The reward power is the power to give the positive benefits or rewards. And the expert power is the influence a leader can exert as a result of his or her expertise, skills, or knowledge. In the preferent power, which is the power of a leader that arises because of a person's desirable resources or admired personality traits. Developing trust. Credibility is the degree to which the followers perceive someone as honest, competent, and able to inspire. The trust is the belief in the integrity, character, and ability of a leader. There are 5 dimensions of the concept of trust: integrity, competence, consistencies, loyalty, and openness. The problem of empowering employees. The empowerment it increases the decision-making discretion of workers, such the teams can make the key operating decision in developing the purchase, scheduling the workloads, controlling the inventories, and solving the quality problems. The issues of leading across cultures. Effective leaders do not use a single style. They adjust their style to the situation. The national culture is certainly an important situation variable in determining which leadership style would be most effective. The next picture is the cross-cultural leadership. To become an effective leader, we need leaders training. Training is more likely to be successful with individuals who are high self-monitors than those who are low self-monitors. The individuals with higher levels of motivation to lead are more receptive to leadership development opportunities.
Hi, I'm Ngọc and I'll move on case 1, crowning leader. So for the question 1, I completely agree with the statement that leader and manager are different. For the manager, they usually focus on the job at heart and the process by which the job is done. But for the leader, they usually lead by the example, showing the worker how to work and creating administration among his followers. Question 2. The leadership model, leadership theory, and the only issue. So for the leadership model, this presents a person ability to create that would allow the company a vision future. The leadership theory that we think is a fairer constituency model. The only issue is that by using those 6 attributes that company is training its leader to follow. They have 6 involved. First one, chart the course, which make the plan and being adaptable. The second, energize and inspire others to make people around you work harder. The third one, demonstrate ethics that make the people do anything, follow the direction from the above without questioning. The fourth, diversity deliver the result. This is one of self-explanatory. The 5, raise the par. To raise the par would be to go above and beyond from the norm is for something that takes it to the next level. The last one, innovate, resourceful. For the last question, this case teaches us that the leader and the manager are different kind of the people. So for the manager, it focuses on the process of how the job is done and what it takes to get the job done. To be a leader, focus on the inspiration of the workplace to do the task at hand and put all their effort into the process. Hi, I'm Ngọc and I move on K2, serving leader. So for the question 1, the most important lesson that Starbucks Leadership Lab provides to its store manager is developing the scene of the corporate pride and responsibility with the element of understanding the importance of the positive customer, that positive atmosphere in the context of their store. For the question 2, leadership is the action of leading the people in an organization toward achieving goals. The leader do this by the influencing employee behavior in several ways. A leader set a clear vision for the organization, motivate employees, guide employees through the work process, and build morale. I think Starbucks store managers should focus on the tech and the people, because the type of organization of Starbucks, which the service offered to the customer, require the expertise in both of its employee as well as product and service is offered to customer. And the last question, the situational leadership theory with the leadership need to change his leadership style. The bad goals theory with a leader should be presented to be a bad entertainer and his leadership should make the employee confident. The transformational leadership with the leader should motivate employees with their own example so that followers achieve their target goal.